Hey there, Start here. This time we're going to be going in against Big George, and we're going to do just a real quick 2-turn kill, sort of like a farming clear. This is definitely not a budget clear. I threw some tickets at the Foxy Girl banner, and happened to pick up a Tsukiko using tickets. So then after that, I went in and went ahead and did the step up banner, got another dupe. So I've got her to EX2 now, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And I figured I'd go ahead and show her off a little bit, show what she can do, and we're going to do a 2-turn clear of Big George here. We're not doing any mods. This is just sort of like it's for fun, but could also be potentially used as a farming clear if you're trying to get the good rewards. I'm honestly, I don't tend to farm, but I just wanted to play around a little bit with Tsukiko before I start getting serious about this clash and start actually doing like a rank 1 clear. So here's a fun little clear that I think should be doable if you got good units. So here we've got Tsukiko. Of course, she's going to be big to get this done. Tsukiko, nothing happening in her normal form, so I didn't bother building her normal form. All of her damage comes in a Brave Shift. Her normal form is just going to be for setting up, but in her Brave Shift, I did go all out on Evoker gear, LB damage, all that stuff. So she of course has her STMR, Rydia's headband, and Rydia's outfit for evoke damage stuff, and then just some high mag accessories there. And then again, more evoker gear, and as well as the LB damage up. So she should be capped on everything. The only thing that I'm missing from this is a source of chain cap boost. And I could probably throw that in with like an accessory slot. If I had another Magister's ring, I could throw that in there. But as you're gonna see, it's not necessary for this clear. If you want Tsukiko to be like your main damage, definitely give her like a Magister's gear, unless she's at EX3. If you got her at EX3, then she comes with the full chain cap boost and you don't have to worry about it. But I am nowhere close to EX3. You see I gave her card there, and all of that just helps get her evocation stats up to 300%, as well as her limit burst damage. So she is capped on everything except for the chain cap. But like I said, as you can see, it's not going to be necessary for this fight, because of course we got our best girl Esther in here. I love that all of the cow gear got these upgrades. This is so great. Like, these stats just make Esther look so good with that over 9,000. It's over 9,000. All right, feel like insert your Dragon Ball Z meme here. So yeah, that was really cool to see. She is capped on killers and LB damage, of course. Actually, she's not. 250 fairy and 250 demon, but yeah, as you're gonna see, it doesn't matter. She'll be good to go. Sylvia is going to be the provoke unit, so she's going to take all the single target physical hits on turn 1, and then she's going to buff everybody up on turn 2 to go in for the kill. So yeah, pretty much just as much defense and HP as you can give her here. You'll see she doesn't get anywhere close to dying though, so this is overkill, to be honest. You don't have to worry about building her Brave Shift form at all for this particular strategy. Kaito, as you can see, perfectly naked. He is literally just here to do his breaks and katana apparel on turn 1, and then to remove the buffs with his undulating waves skill, or sorry, unpredictable tide. I always get those two confused. But he's going to get rid of the buffs on turn 2 using unpredictable tide. All right, that way we can do max damage. It will not get rid of the mitigations, but it does get rid of the defense and spirit buffs. Chorizo here, nothing in normal form. You could actually, you know what, now that I think about it, just it's not necessary, but you can totally give her Tyvus's spirit in her normal form, just to do a little bit of extra damage. But then in her Brave Shift form, it's all killers, and yeah, make sure she's got Magister's gear. Again, unless she's at EX3. If she's at EX3, then she comes fully capped on the chain cap boost. Blue Mage dressed is 100% fairy killer, so very helpful on hitting the killers. And then otherwise just some basic demon killer materials here. And then, let's see, I think she's also at 250 on both. 250, yeah, 250 on both. And 300% LB damage, which is good enough for her. Fina is literally just here for this, get rid of that, for this one skill, Crowning Veil. And I use her just because she's a free unit, so everyone should have access to this for the fairy killers. But you can also use Bulwark. Bulwark works just as well at providing the fairy killer, and you don't have to worry about getting rid of the light imbue, because Fina's fairy killer does come with the light imbue, but then we use Sylvie to get rid of it and replace it with the earth imbue. So if you don't have Paladin Sylvie to replace that light imbue, then you might want to use someone like Bulwark. Of course, you can always go light element on this because it is weak to light, but earth is the major weakness. So we're going to be going earth with this team, all right? So let's go get it done in 2 turns. Should be quick. All right, so you see Big George puts up all those the buffs and the mitigation, and he'll do that. He'll do the stat buffs every turn, unless you hit it with one of its weak elements. If you do that every turn, then eventually the buffs go away on turn 4, but it will always have the mitigations up every turn, and it sort of flip-flops between higher physical or higher magical mitigation every turn, but we're not going to worry about that. I've already explained that in another video, so this is just to get a quick clear. So we'll do Blessed Omamori for the Earth Imperil and the Rod Imperil. We'll do Maiden's Consecration Earth for an Earth Imbue, although that's not as important. And then Purging Mandala Earth for the Earth Imperil Field. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do that. Blue Mage Fina can come down here and do Crowning Veil for the Fairy Killer. Kaito will just do his LB. If you want, we can have... Actually, no, sorry, I should have started... so if you wanted to use Tyvus' Spirit, you would obviously want to start Chizuru in her normal form to use Tyvus' Spirit on this turn. I forgot to do that, but as you can see, it's not going to make a difference. So I'll just do Strong Samurai Spirit. Yeah, he can just go ahead and do that. Strong Samurai Spirit. Sylvie is going to just do Elemental Petals, Elemental Vines, and Burgeoning Defense, so that she is ready to take all the abuse that she's going to take. And then Esther's just going to set up and get ready for a burst. Alright, now you may already be thinking, well, wait a minute, Esther's LB is going to replace that field. Well, if you've seen my videos taking Esther up against Rafflesia, then you know that as long as Esther is the last person in the action queue to go, then her field will not interrupt that Imperil field for everyone's damage. So she just has to be the last person to go in the action queue, which is very simple to do with this clear. Alright, so at this point, Sylvie will just quickly shift. We can do Marion's Blessing Earth. That'll get rid of the light imbue and replace it with Earth. I've got your back. You can use that on whoever you think needs the biggest LB bump. Esther already has a 300% LB buff right now, so you can either give it to Chizuru or Tsukiko here, so that they have that little bit of extra LB damage. They all already have 250% LB buff, but this gives them a little bit of a higher one. So I'm going to give it to Chizuru. And then Poach Demon I'm going to put on Esther, because Esther is still my strongest unit out of all of these. And Tsukiko gets no benefit from killers since she's doing evoke damage. Alright, so Tsukiko will now shift and do her LB. So her LB is a one-hit finisher, so it has a little bit of a wind-up, which actually works out nicely for Esther. because you're going to set Tsukiko off first, and then wait a second or two, and then do Chizuru and Esther in that order. Kaito is going to do Unpredictable Tide to get rid of the buffs. So you see the buffs all have a 1-turn duration, and so Unpredictable Tide will get rid of all those, except for the mitigations. Like I said, mitigations will stay, but that's fine. All right. Yep. So Paladin Sylvie. All right. So now we're all imbued with Earth only. We've gotten rid of the light imbue. Chizuru will LB. Esther will LB. All right. And this should do well over. This should be massive overkill here. All right. So let's just go ahead and do Tsukiko first, and then Chorizo and Esther. There's the big hit from Tsukiko there in the middle. And, it would be, 2.4 Gs. Almost hitting the damage cap there. And if Tsukiko had like a Magister's Ring, that definitely would have done even more. So I'm kind of, unfortunately, I kind of hamstrung Tsukiko there a little bit. But let's see the damage spread. Yeah, I mean, she did, even with a lower cap, she did almost as much as Chizuru. So if I'd given her like a Magister's Ring, she probably would have done closer to Esther's damage on there. Obviously, Esther carrying this one, mostly because she had the bigger Demon Killer buff on there, but also she's EX3, so and she's got Sylvie with the mod boost. So yeah, that's an easy 2-turn clear right there. Use that for farming if you want to. It's it might give you a nice high score too if you want, but yeah, it's really just for farming. As you can see, I've got Lapis all the way, and that's honestly, I'm fine with that. I've got plenty of T-Pearls lying around, so Lapis is the only thing I really care about. So I'm basically done farming at this point. I got that before I even got to level 99. All right, well, thanks guys. Hope this was helpful to you, and I will see you on the other side.